right, so I just wanted to go through a quick delta math example so you could kind of get a feel for what you're going to be doing here. So the first thing I would do on these is I would go ahead and factor whatever I could. So I think factoring is going to help you just see everything easier. So the top factor is the 5 times x minus 5. The bottom is going to be x minus 5, x minus 1. Okay, so the reason I would do that right off the bat is now we see that we have these factors that canceled on the top and the bottom, which tells me that we're going to have a hole or a removable discontinuity on this problem. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and take care of that first because I always forget about my removable discontinuities. So I know that the x value is 5. So then to find the y value, I look at the equation that's left over, 5 over x minus 1. I plug in 5 to what's left over, so that'd be 5 over 4. And so the location of this hole is at 5 comma 5/4. Okay, so then to plot that, I'm just going to go click on hole, and it pops up here for me, and then I just have to click and move it to where I want it. So 5, and then 5/4 is just a little bit more than 1, so I'll plop it right there. Okay, and then my advice would be just kind of continue with our normal process. Write down all your information first. So x-intercepts, that happens when the top is equal to 0. Well, 5 is never equal to 0, so none. There's not going to be any x-intercepts here. Y-intercept, we're plugging in 0 for x. So it'd be 5 over negative 1. So 0 comma negative 5. Vertical asymptotes, that happens when the bottom is equal to 0. So that would be x equals 1. And horizontal asymptote, let's see. Well, this is a bottom heavy function. So my horizontal asymptote is at 0. So I like to write all the information down, and then delta math, it's just going to have you click on it and move the points to where you want them. So we'll start with y-intercept. So I want to add 0 comma 5, so I click and drag this point down here. X-intercept, we said there's none. Oops, I clicked on it, so make sure that there's no x-intercept. You leave that unclicked so there's no point there. Y-intercept, we already did that. Vertical asymptote, when you click on that, it's going to pop up, and then you're going to click and drag it over to 1. Horizontal asymptote, we said was at 0, and so we click and drag that to 0. And then if you did everything right, you're going to click plot rational function, and it's going to draw the curve for you. Okay, now this curve isn't necessarily the right answer. It's graphing this curve based on the information you gave it. So let's say that I accidentally have this hole in the wrong spot. Let's say I move it all the way up here and then click plot function. Notice that it moved my curve, and so now it's not hitting any of my points, but it's doing its best to hit the points that I graphed. Okay, so just because it goes through your points doesn't necessarily mean that you did it right. It's just the software is trying to go through the points. Now, it's a good sign that it's going through both of these points. I feel pretty good about that. So I'll go ahead and submit. And I got it right. So that's the plan here. That's our strategy. I just wanted to do one just so you can kind of get a feel for it. So good luck. I think you have 6 of these to do. Let me know if you guys need any help.